Ohaiyo has cemented himself as one of the most influential offlaners in SEA, with his consistent play in international tournaments, posting 2 top 4 finishes at the International and 2 top 6 finishes in Valve majors. Ohaiyo is one of the most accomplished players in SEA's history. Ohaiyo kicked off his journey in competitive Dota 2 with the Malaysian powerhouse MUFC. Playing in the mid lane, he honed his mechanics and steadily became one of the best mid laners in the SEA region. Ohaiyo made his way into China to compete in the Asia 2012 and managed to claim an impressive 2nd place finish, beating out top tier SEA teams like Orange, MITH and Zenith to stake his claim as one of the best players in SEA. With his impressive performance in this tournament, Ohaiyo managed to find a place in the upcoming Orange Academy team. Here, he would transition to the offlane and team up with Mushi to kick off an era of domination in the SEA scene and received a direct invite to TI3. Ohaiyo and Orange Esports did not have the best of starts at the International 3 as they dropped down to the lower brackets after losing to Na'Vi. However, they pushed themselves to the limit and fought their way through the lower brackets, taking out Dignitas, Fnatic, Team DK and Tong Fu to set up a rematch against Na'Vi. The series proved to be a close affair as both teams played their hearts out and forced a Game 3. Orange Esports got off to a massive lead thanks in part to Ohaiyo's fantastic Darkseer play. Unfortunately, KYXY's accidental Aegis deny helped to turn the tides for Na'Vi, and Orange Esports lost the game, thus securing 3rd place at TI3. Till date, this remains the best performance by an SEA team at the International. In the aftermath of TI3, Mushi left Orange to join the all-star Chinese roster, Team DK. Ohaiyo, along with the other 3 members of Orange that were remaining, teamed up with Yamate to form Team Titan, who promptly became the strongest team in the SEA region. Unfortunately, they didn't perform well at any Premier LAN tournaments and eventually ended up finishing in 10th place at TI4, concluding a disappointing season for Ohaiyo. A few months later, Ohaiyo went on a brief hiatus after a few failed stints in various teams. Ohaiyo and Mushi would team up once again, moving to China to reform the legendary EHOME roster prior to DAC 2015. Unfortunately, the team just didn't click and had a 12th place finish. Shortly after the conclusion of the tournament, they moved back to SEA with a new team and went on to win 16 games in a row. Eventually, they received a direct invite to TI5 and were picked up by Fnatic as a result. Unfortunately, TI5 ended in disaster as well. Fnatic finished the tournament in last place after some very unimpressive play. Mushi and Ohaiyo were the only players retained in the post-TI shuffle. They teamed up with Black, DJ and Net heading into the Frankfurt Major. After bombing out of TI5 in the Frankfurt Major, Fnatic underwent a series of shuffles, after which DJ, Mid1 and 343 were finalized as the latest additions to the roster. At TI6, they started off slow yet again, but this time they went on a tear in the lower bracket, eliminating Escape Gaming, Alliance, Team Liquid and MVP Phoenix, before eventually losing to Digital Chaos and finishing in the 4th place. Post TI6, Ohaiyo and DJ were retained by Fnatic and would team up with Western superstars Eternal Envy and Pylai Dai for the following season. EE and Fnatic kicked Ohaiyo from the team, shortly after helping them qualify for the ESL1 Katowice Major. The fact that the kick happened at a pizza party intended to celebrate Fnatic's qualification turned this into a massive meme. The meme became viral and is now used to describe any roster change that comes out of the blue. In an emotional statement, Ohaiyo went on to explain how he was hurt because he felt that the team lied to him and that they used him for their own reasons. Now, Ohaiyo has teamed up alongside Filipino superstar Raven.
Hi, my name is Mark Luis Fausto, aka Raven, and I play carry.
My name is Khoo Ohaiyo Chong Xin. My Indian name is Ohaiyo, and I play position 3 in Team Lotac.
And is on the cusp of transforming the team into a legitimate competitor in the SEA Dota 2 spectrum. Ohaiyo is still regarded as one of the most accomplished Dota 2 players in the region and will forever be remembered as one of the pioneers of SEA Dota.
There goes a sight from my soul.